you there. Blockchain now, technology's unfair. Elevate the game, chains are in the air. About to blow up, it's time to testify. Chain of signatures launched, we're reaching for the sky. Blockchain hit the locks, names leading the drive. Now outside ain't change, the future's is live. Chain signatures we ride, anytime, anywhere. Me, I pull the code nuts, catch a secret there. Blockchain now, technology's unfair. Elevate the game, chains are in the air. About to blow up, it's time to testify. Chain of signatures launched, we're reaching for the sky. Blockchain hit the locks, names leading the drive. Now outside ain't change, the future's is live. Chain signatures we ride, anytime, anywhere. Me, I pull the code nuts, catch a secret there. Blockchain now, technology's unfair. Elevate the game, chains are in the air. About to blow up, it's time to testify. Chain of signatures launched, we're reaching for the sky. Blockchain hit the locks, names leading the drive. Now outside ain't change, the future's is live. Chain signatures we ride, anytime, anywhere. Me, I pull the code nuts, catch a secret there. Blockchain now, technology's unfair. Elevate the game, chains are in the air. About to blow up, it's time.
Let's fucking go! Oh, chain signatures are live on Mainnet. GN to my friends Joe and Kendall and every single person who is watching and every single person who will watch them inevitably on clips when it gets cut down and shoved down your throat by all of the wonderful social media channels that we behold ourselves to. Joe, Kendall, how you doing?
Doing great.
It's a super exciting day. I think it's been, if you've been in the developer community, you've been leading up to this now for a while. You know, people have been building, working towards it. A really exciting milestone here for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. Look, before we kick off, right? I know that you guys are like based somewhere west of me, so maybe the US or something. So it's not 5 o'clock where you are, but it is 5 or 6 p.m. where I am. But I'm repping you guys. I got myself a gigantic Budweiser, and I want to share a real life tip for people. Let's say you're at a house party, but well, we're in crypto, so none of us have friends. But let's say you are drinking alone while you're working on some project, or you're aping some meme coin, and you want to have a beer, but you don't have a bottle opener. You can actually use a spoon if you grasp it the right way and
look at that,
knock it up like that. It's done. Cheers, everyone.
That's the real alpha right here. We can just end the call. I think we're done.
Thank you all for tuning in. It's been brilliant. Have a good one.
Love it.
Right,
British
Kendall.
engineering.
So what can we expect today? What are we going to be talking about?
Oh yeah, well yeah, we're going to be talking about all things chain signatures. So the mainnet is live, which is super exciting. Even more exciting, we have teams who are actually using it already. They're building on it, and they even have some live applications. So we're going to hear from several of them today who are going to show some demos and talk through what it is that they've been doing with this tech. So yeah, it's really about them, not about me, not about us, or even about chain signatures. It's about the people building with it. That's what matters.
100%.
Yeah, so,
I couldn't agree more.
Kendall, can you just like kind of introduce people a little bit to like what exactly chain signatures is and what that means? Because I think that term gets thrown around a lot, and people just aren't always clear of like exactly what are chain signatures.
Yeah, great question. So the really simple and important takeaway is that chain signatures enable smart contracts to sign transactions. So they're actually able to do this with effectively a private key. Now, the reason that that's able to work and that that's still able to be non-custodial is that private key is actually managed by a large set of MPC node operators. So MPC is multi-party computation, which basically means is that multiple different parties can each have access to some key material unique to only them that they can use together to like kind of cooperatively sign something that then is able to be signed on behalf of this kind of private key that doesn't exist to any of them individually, but exists to them as a group. And usually there's some kind of threshold set where like, 5 of 8 nodes have to sign in order for it to be valid, or, 10 of 13 or some number like that. But it basically enables like a near smart contract to communicate with this MPC network and request some type of signature and some type of data, usually a transaction, from a key, like a sort of unique key that only they can sign from, but that even they don't have access to. And so this gives us some really crazy functionality, like smart contracts on Near. They can custody Bitcoin natively on Bitcoin. They can custody Solana. They can interact with smart contracts on Ethereum. And they can really do anything you can do with a private key, but now from a programmable smart contract, which is a brand new paradigm for the industry.
Okay, Kendall, I've got a few questions before we dive right into it, right? And I'm going to put glasses on now so I look more intelligent than I am. So I've been scouring Twitter, X, sorry, Elon, whatever you want to call it, this whole afternoon since we announced the launch. And there's been a few questions coming up. Can you dive into a little bit more about which chains this is actually for? Because I've been saying all TM. It's not all just yet, right? But it's going to be one day soon. I would love to know.
Yeah, that's a great question. We're saying all because it will be all soon. But yes, today, right now, at this moment, the signature scheme that is supported is ECDSA. So any blockchain that supports signatures with ECDSA is supported today. The ones that are popular, people are familiar with, that's Ethereum and every single EVM-based chain. That's Bitcoin. The majority of Bitcoin, functionality is usable using ECDSA. That's every Cosmos chain I'm aware of. That's Aptos. That's Sui. That's Near, actually, as of a couple weeks ago, added support for that. And that can sort of be true for Ton and Solana because they support ECDSA signature verification. So it's not as simple. You have to use a smart contract. You have to use this kind of ECDSA pre-compile they have. It's pretty in the weeds, but technically you could use it for that. Now, what is missing is EDDSA, or the particular subset of EDDSA, which is ED25519, which is actually what Near's original signature scheme is. So that is Solana, that is Ton, that is a lot of substrate chains, and there are a few others. So that support will be coming later this year, at which point every single chain that I'm at least aware of will be supported.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Just want to... I think my hairline's going further and further back. It must have been from the stress of launching this revolutionary tech in the world of Web3, even though I just wrote the Twitter posts. I didn't actually do any of the super smart technical stuff. So on the topic of super smart technical stuff, Kendall, I know that you might have some slides you want to present to us, but before we get onto that, Joe, is there anything else that people should know?
Well, I mean, I want to make sure I join the glasses game today. I don't want to be left out, so make sure I put mine on too, because this is the serious business here, right? We're getting down to it. No, look, I think what's exciting about this, and I know Kendall's team and a lot of teams are doing a lot of work, is that we're going to show some projects that are already building, but people can start building now. It's been on testnet for a while. You could have already been playing with it, but from a developer's perspective, you can dive in, and now it's on mainnet to actually start going. So that's super exciting. And there's a little thing called redacted coming up, where maybe this might be a nice thing to mix in. So it's an exciting time for developers. Everyone likes a new technology.
100%. I couldn't agree more. And what is wonderful to see, and I'll be the first to say, I think that the Near ecosystem has in the past brought the bun out of the oven before it's cooked, right? So we said, hey, we've got this incredible thing, it's coming, you should be excited for it. And then people can say, well, where the fuck is it? But thankfully, today, we have the receipts. Kendall, I'm just going to mute you because I swear to God I was going to leave because all I can hear is tap, 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 tap. But thank you, though. Anyway, we do, on occasion, pull that bun out of the oven, and then people say, hey, where is it? And then a few months later, it's actually there. But today, we are going to run through some incredible projects which actually have left the bun in the oven for long enough for it to be fully cooked. And you, whether you're a developer, a user, a degen, will be able to slice it up and make a nice sandwich and eat it for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Kendall, Joe, do you think we're ready for Kendall slides? Or is that a one more minute? I think that man's doing some last minute edits for sure. All right, Joe, what is your...
No, sorry, we're good. I just needed to connect the slides. That's what apparently Streamline has a different process for that than I'm used to. I can't just
All right, he's able to work as part of the grand team that deploys chain signatures, but we always struggle with simple, usable Web 2 products. It's exactly the same for Zoom, Google Meet, and everything, but we'll get there.
All right, so everyone's obviously already aware of this. Chain signatures are live on Mainnet. I'll be very brief in this because it is about the projects, but just going more into what chain signatures is and how you can use it. So the simple thing, it's threshold signatures that are controlled by near accounts and smart contracts. We'll go through like a sequence diagram to show exactly how that works, but here's like a high level diagram kind of showing some of it. It's basically, for developers, you can use a very simple API in order to trigger a signature. You pass in a payload, you pass in a derivation path, and then you pass in the signature type, right now just ECDSA, into this sign function call on a special smart contract on near, which is v1.signer, also very simple, and you get a signature back. Going a little bit into more detail here, so you start with a near account. The near account calls that function. They've got that payload, that derivation path on this v1.signer. Basically, then you have this network of MPC operators. Right now, there are 80 of them run by professional validators who listen for this request. They receive the request. They each sign using their unique key material. So they're not actually sharing any of that information. Those signatures are then combined into an actual complete valid signature, which is then returned back to the near blockchain. At this point, at last, that signature is then relayed to the destination. Fortunately for the user, this looks very simple. I want to do something on Bitcoin. I sign using my wallet, standard operation, nothing new, nothing different. And next thing I know, I move Bitcoin. Simple, couldn't be easier for the user. All this magic is completely hidden away. Now, today is the great mainnet launch, and a lot of these teams will be demoing. So there are 5 that are going to be live on day 1. Or week 1 rather. Sweat, Bitte, Allstake, Defuse, and here. And we've got about 15 others building across a wide range of different applications and use cases. All right. The very important takeaway here, if there's one thing you sort of take away, is that chain signatures enable smart contracts to sign transactions. This is really new and different, and we couldn't be more excited about what it enables. As far as what that is, I think there's a lot of categories, but the 3 we're seeing a lot of teams build in. 1, chain agnostic applications. 2, DeFi on Bitcoin specifically, although really any smart contract functionality on Bitcoin. And then 3, multi-chain account abstraction, bringing all of that like amazing smart contract wallet functionality that Near users are very familiar with since the day 1 launch of Near several years ago, and that Ethereum users are becoming more and more familiar with as those patterns get traction in those communities. Now you can actually expand that behavior to every single chain that exists. So a couple of applications we're seeing teams work on Bitcoin. There's lending protocols that I think will be by far the most user-friendly Bitcoin lending protocols that exist. And I stand by that statement. I can't wait for people to see what some of these teams are working on. We can finally bring some real utility and functionality to runes. I think one of the things that sort of held them back is the trading experience on the Bitcoin L1 is understandably extremely limited. Some teams are really able to solve that and also preserve and enhance the Bitcoin user experience. We will finally see passkey wallets for Bitcoin. That's something that just doesn't exist today. I think Bitte, who will actually be demoing later, maybe not specifically about Bitcoin, but they will be an early team to support this, which is really going to open up Bitcoin custody for a lot of people. And then certainly last but not least, cross-chain swaps, the ability to trade any asset on any chain for Bitcoin or even for Bitcoin runes. Super exciting stuff. And we won't go into all of these in too much detail, but on the chain agnostic application side, you're going to see things like oracles will be able to just deploy on Near, and any developer team on any chain will be able to consume that verified price information or whatever verified data they're bringing on chain. You'll see a lot of the AI applications that are building in the new ecosystem will now be able to interact with a bunch of different chains. I think especially interacting with Bitcoin is going to be pretty unique. And then we'll see a ton of cross-chain applications, multi-chain lending, multi-chain dexes, multi-chain perps, stablecoins, you name it, we've got it. And then last but not least, on the multi-chain account abstraction side, you're going to see Bitte, I think, is focused on EVM chains right now, but they'll be able to expand to any chain. Sweat is doing some great work on BNB base and other chains. You're going to be able to pay your gas fees in a token like USDC for any chain, or a Sweat coin. You'll be able to use the Sweat token as well. And then you'll be able to bring all of that amazing account abstraction functionality, like being able to change in and out your keys, build out 2FA patterns, social recovery, you name it. We'll now be able to, anything that's on Near will be expanded to all these different chains, which is pretty exciting. And I won't take up any more of the great time in this live stream, and we'll let the projects kind of speak for themselves. But super exciting day, everyone. Massive congrats to Pagoda team for finally launching this, and excited to have everyone along on the journey here.
Amazing. Kendall, thank you so much. As always, Joe, is there anything you want to add before we dive into these wonderful product demos and look on these big buns?
No, let's just dive in.
Okay, the big buns it is. All right, we have, first up, one of the most widely used consumer crypto applications in the entire world. If you have ever taken a step in your life, you could have had the opportunity to be rewarded for it. And I think more than 100 million people out there are indeed being rewarded for it as we speak. Oleg, how are you doing, my old friend? Oh, we're on the old mute, the classic. There we go.
I'm sorry. Bloody good to be here, and thank you for such an amazing intro. I cannot be more excited about chain signatures that will hopefully bring chainless world to not just 100 million. Let's aim for 1 billion, guys. Why aim low? Aim high. And I do believe that this is probably the most important kind of technological breakthrough that in 2 to 3 years' time, we're going to look back and kind of go, yeah, that really brought forward the age of consumer crypto. And we finally started breaking down tribalism and everything else, and started focusing on amazing user experience and amazing management of assets without people even realizing what chain they're using. And this is, kind of vision of Near team is absolutely unparalleled, and building on architectural and also technological, advantages that frankly cannot be replicated or cannot be repeated by most other chains out there. So I'm absolutely psyched.
Awesome.
100%.
Can you talk a little bit about how exactly Sweat is going to start to integrate chain signatures for your users?
I'm not a techie, so I'm gonna talk from the user perspective. And whatever we build, we try to make it feel like magic. And I can hardly imagine another technology that is here or on the horizon that can really create that feeling. What will happen is, you, for example, want to engage with, let's use PancakeSwap, right? And as a user of Sweat Wallet, you tap on PancakeSwap. And while PancakeSwap front end opens, we are checking, do you have a BNB account or not? If you don't have a BNB account, we spin up that smart contract that Kendall was talking about. We create an account for you in BNB. We fund it. And by the time the front end is loaded, you can connect your account to PancakeSwap without even realizing that you just put into BNB. Compare it with existing experience. I want to go to PancakeSwap, and then I need to figure out, oh, it's on BNB. Do I have a BNB account? Go create BNB account. Fund BNB account. That's probably going to result in you spending at least $50 on buying BNB to make sure that you have gas token. Then you're probably going to have to bridge your assets from another chain onto that account, and only then you will be able to connect with PancakeSwap and start doing something. All of that probably, I'm sure that many of us have experienced this. It can take between 20 minutes, if you're lucky, to half a day, depending on, what bridge you're using and how complex the solution is. Now it all happens in the background without you even realizing what the hell is going on. Now that is magic. That is absolutely incredible. And if on top of that, you also bolt on one-click connect cross-chain, so that your account on BNB is automatically connected by the time that front end loaded, my God, this is, pure chainless world where I or millions of our users going to be able to interact with any dApp on any chain. They wouldn't have to think, oh, it's that chain, do I have an account there? They'll just go and interact and do what they want to do, and everything will be happening in the background. It's like watching swans swim, right? They're graceful, beautiful. If you look underwater, there's just churn and feet flying. That's exactly what it's going to be. On the surface, it's going to be beautiful, magical experience. And all of that churn and feet flying is going to be completely automated, and you wouldn't have to think about it for 1 single second. That excites me because it can bring to us, and by us, I mean people who are playing in Web3, the most exciting future that I can't wait to experience, where you can have one wallet across all chains, where you have one key that allows you to manage assets on any chain without you having to run Excel spreadsheets, one password, or whatever you're using for your key management. It is an absolute nightmare, at least for me. I have lost a lot of different assets that, I just can't recall what account and what key those assets were on. This is all past. Everything is going to be in one interface, and you will be able to operate using just one key, which means that you're going to have a lot better operational security. It is a lot easier to save one key safely and securely than juggle a gazillion different ones. And what's even more important, and Kendall started talking about it, you will be able to pay all the fees on any chain with one token, which in our case, you can also earn by moving your feet. So in the world of Sweat Wallet, you will pay your fees with your feet. Now you can do it on Near only. Imagine that you can do it on any chain and every chain out there. Easier, simpler, removes all that rigmarole and that nervous moment where you're going to go, oh, bridge, assets disappeared from here, but they haven't arrived there. It's absolutely, I just can't talk enough about it, and I cannot be more excited about anything else happening in the whole space of Web3 than this.
Amazing. You brought up some wonderful points, Oleg, and I don't want to out the guy, right? Because technically he's my boss, but even Ilya, he manages his fucking wallets in a spreadsheet, right? Like, because there's just that many.
Yeah, we commiserated a number of times over this crap because I just said, look, I know I had, something. I just can't recall for the life of mine where on that day, at that moment, did I save the key to that particular account. And thankfully, I recovered it later, but holy moly, that really is nasty.
100%. It gets your heart racing.
Yep, I love that reaction. By the way, some of you listening, you probably seen that in February, our team just sort of gone all guns blazing, and already at least Denver, I've presented a first demo. Back then, it was just BNB, and we were using testnet, but then it was working, and it wasn't working on the web only, but we actually brought chain signatures into your mobile application. I don't know, guys, if you have the video of that demo that our team beautified, and it is right now just absolutely amazing. And it's only 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So if there is a way to play it here, it would be absolutely incredible.
Would you care if your Bitcoin that you own sits on Bitcoin chain, or that Bitcoin sits on Near chain, or it sits on Solana chain, or on BNB? As long as it's secure and you know that somebody can't take it away from you, why would you care? In the future, you won't. And this is actually why I am excited about meme coins, because rather than focusing on ecosystem, having excitement around chain, we have started creating excitement around assets. And I believe that this is the future for both next billion people and for crypto natives. That's why I believe that consumer crypto is the future, because next to benefit that we're going to have, or the next big wave that we're going to have, are the consumer crypto applications that are giving you full visibility of your assets, ability to control them on whatever chain they're on without even caring.
Everybody pause. As wonderful as it is to hear you speak, Oleg, and I could do it all day, I have a sneaking suspicion that that wasn't quite the right video, right?
No, but you know what? We had a shameless plug of Diogo Monica, chairman of Near Foundation. I'm sure he's quite pleased. But I have a different video.
We do have the correct video. We do have it. We've just got it. And I'm going to play it for you all right now.
Thank you. Catchy tune as well. Love it.
There's certainly a lot of vibes in both those videos, so I'll take it.
Thank you, guys. Now, one wallet, one key, one token is the way we're talking about chain signatures, you know, kind of in the context of Sweat Wallet. And the team is working, you know, kind of 24/7 to bring it into our app. I do believe that it is not going to be too much alpha, but 17th of September, we're going to have an event right before the start of Token 2049. If you're interested to come in and tap and experience all of that working on the mobile device, and not just on BNB, but on other chains as well, pop in, come over. We would be absolutely excited to see you there. And guys, I hope that Kendall, you know, we will be able to pull you on stage and, you know, kind of blow people's minds as well with all of those slides, charts, and, you know, kind of beautiful explanation of technology.
Exciting stuff. Great slogan too. That really nails the magic of what we're enabling here.
So
yeah,
it's one wallet, one key, one token, and it can all start with one step. Okay. There you go.
Yes.
Have that one.
And that will make Sweat, you know, kind of a lot more valuable, because it adds an incredible amount of utility. Because as you can imagine, a lot of, I don't know your situation, but I probably have about $500 in gas tokens sitting on all different chains, because you go there, minimum to buy is, I don't know, 30, 40, $50. And I on Matic, I know I probably spend about 50 cents, but I have another $49.5 of Matic sitting there just because it was a minimum to buy. And this is the situation on so many chains. Now, if you can do it with one token that you buy, even if you haven't walked enough, to be honest, it is reasonably easy to walk enough to pay all your fees on Near. Probably very similar on Solana. There are probably some chains where you're going to have to run a marathon to, you know, kind of to have enough. But one thing that we're definitely going to be doing is, if you're going to be using Sweat, first of all, you will subsidize those fees by walking. Second, we're looking into a mechanism that you would pay less than if you paid in native gas tokens if you use Sweat. So this is all coming. This is all in development, and 17th of September.
Amazing. Mom's the word.
Yes.
See you then. Joe, Kendall. Oh, well, I was going to catch you for more questions. We had a couple of minutes left, but never mind. Oh, there he's back! It's for the magic of technology. Kendall, Joe.
Okay. Ooh, that was a good yank. I love it.
Any questions that we want to throw Oleg's way, and before we move on?
It's not really a question. I just wanted to kind of maybe get your thoughts on. So Sweat has really been focused on obviously the user experience since the beginning, and that's driven a lot of the stuff and decisions you guys have made. How important was it that like everything can happen in the background and be so fast? Because I think that's the part that people maybe don't quite fully understand, that like there is going to be, as you said, almost probably no noticeable difference to the end user of what's happening in the background. They just get to complete an action and an activity.
I can't stress this enough. I absolutely love the story of Spotify. When these guys started building Spotify, they were not just focusing on UX, but as you said, speed of response. And they set a goal for themselves that the song starts to play 200 milliseconds after I'm tapping on play button. The speed of response is phenomenally important, not for us who've been hanging around and, kind of familiar with 10-minute, block on Bitcoin. But when new users come in, they are not expecting that. This is not something that exists in their psyche, and making it lightning fast, or if it is not instant, managing their expectations well so that they don't freak out, they don't think that, kind of the app is broken or they don't have internet, is absolutely important. Because if we don't manage expectations and don't make it instant, they will go and likely not to be back for a very, very long time. So optimizing for speed and amazing UX is exactly what we're focusing on.
Awesome.
It's
an exciting time.
Maybe one day, in the same way that Spotify stopped me from pirating songs, Sweat Economy is going to stop me from pirating footsteps, because you wouldn't steal a footstep. But let's see.
How are you pirating steps? I'm really, really curious, because if you found a way, I'm gonna hunt. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna steal your device, and I'm gonna figure out, how you go about it.
I just remembered it wasn't footsteps I was downloading; it was fate. But it's a different thing. That's a different topic for another day, isn't it? Never mind.
No, that's a spicy take.
I love your drink, by the way. Great. I hope it's early morning for you.
You know what? It's actually 5:30, so I've got an excuse, and we've worked hard, all of us, as an entire ecosystem, everybody involved. Oleg, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. It makes my day every single time. Joe, Kendall, anything else to add before we move on?
Awesome stuff.
No. Look forward to seeing you guys at Token 2059. Hope you're all coming, and thank you very much for having me. Have a great rest of the podcast. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. All right, I outed myself there, guys, but here we are. It doesn't matter.
What happens when you're live?
Next up, this is the beauty of live entertainment, right? Next up, who have we got? Joe, Kendall, give me a nice, beautiful introduction.
Who do we have?
Who is next? I don't actually know.
Oh, guys, Defuse.
Hello, everybody. It's Alex Shevchenko here. Congratulations to the Near protocol for launching chain signatures. It's a great achievement, and I would like to share this experience and this joy of that tremendous development together with you. However, unfortunately, today I'm not able to be here on the live stream, but it is not going to stop me from sharing with you some information about Defuse. So let's start with a simple understanding what is the problem that we're trying to solve. So if you are going to take a look at centralized and decentralized exchanges, they're delivering a little bit of a different promise. Centralized exchanges are a necessary tool for the crypto ecosystem. However, they have a major risk in centralization. We've already seen several pretty bad examples for the whole crypto industry of what this centralization can mean and what it can bring to us that were resulted in billions of dollars lost. And also, because of the centralization, centralized exchanges are very slow in adopting new changes and adopting new networks, new tokens, and stuff like that. In general, centralized exchanges have become some kind of a barrier for the crypto industry to grow by, imposing these very strict rules and very strict and often just gatekeeping things from happening. However, the positive thing about all of this slowness is that centralized exchanges are convenient. The user experience for everybody who are using centralized exchanges is pretty good. They are compliant, which also improves the image of crypto in front of the regulators. On the other hand side, decentralized exchanges also exist, and they unfortunately have their own drawbacks. They are limited to a single blockchain. They have, up until recently, 10 times less liquidity and trading volume than centralized exchanges. However, the very positive thing about decentralized exchanges, and this is exactly the reason why we're building blockchains, is that they are permissionless, and in case they are delivered properly, they are extremely robust and are able to withstand massive loads and insane market conditions. On the top right hand, you are able to see here the chart of the DEX to centralized exchange spot trading volume that is provided by the blog. And an interesting development that we are seeing in the market, that DEX trading volume starts to increase. And the increase is quite a significant one. And the only thing that it shows is that people are willing to trade on decentralized exchanges. People are willing to actually deliver or kind of use all of the benefits of the decentralization. Now, the great thing about the chain signatures technology that is now available on the Near blockchain is that using chain signatures, the positive things from both of the approaches of the centralized and decentralized exchanges can be brought together, and the negative pieces of it, or the cons, they can be eliminated. And here where Defuse comes in. So Defuse is a scalable multi-chain DeFi infrastructure that facilitates the creation and trading of financial instruments with minimized centralization risks while unifying liquidity across crypto ecosystems. This is a hell of a definition. However, let's talk a little bit about what is inside here. Literally what is saying here is that Defuse is some kind of a dApp where people are able to create and trade financial instruments, including tokens, including maybe some derivatives of the tokens, including some structured products, maybe not even tokens, but NFTs and stuff like that. And this solution unifies the liquidity across different chains and also across centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. Besides that, it is scalable, so it is able to withstand any load that people can produce. And as it is said here, it also works multi-chain. And that's a pretty neat thing. Now, a little bit into the details of the Defuse. As I was saying, it is multi-chain, and the reason why it is multi-chain is obviously because of the chain signatures. Chain signatures make it available for Defuse to, and it gives an ability for Defuse to connect to other networks. Besides that, in order to make Defuse scalable, we use the intent-based architecture, during which the user is producing an intent to perform a trade, and then the solver or the active market participant is actually filling in the intent, right? Or you also can think of this is that the Defuse becomes a kind of a platform where peer-to-peer trades are happening in between the user who wants to trade and the solver who fills in the user's intent. The interesting thing about Defuse is that it is not focused only on spot trading, which is obviously one of the biggest use case, and this is the only thing that you're able to find right now in the Defuse Alpha version. But it actually implements the concept of account fi. And what account fi means is that people are able to trade accounts on any networks together with all of the assets and all of the value that these accounts have accumulated. And we're going to dive into it a little bit later, but it means that fungible tokens, non-fungible tokens, non-transferable assets also are able to be traded. Defuse is designed as a fully open protocol with anyone able to come on board, develop their own financial instruments and launch them within their own front end. There is no intention to centralize Defuse users of Defuse directly in one place. And the reason for this is that Defuse is kind of a three-party marketplace where there are distribution channels with users. You can think of these distribution channels as wallets, for example. There are market makers and solvers that are filling in the intents of the users. And the third party here is the ecosystem / founders / people who are launching their financial instruments. So these parties are interacting with each other. Founders are willing to have an exposure through the distribution channels to the users, but they also would like to make sure that the market makers are creating the markets for these financial instruments. And obviously the distribution channels would like to keep users inside of their own distribution, so they are not going outside to some kind of other applications. And also what they are willing to do is to make sure that there is an agreement with some of the solvers, maybe for rebates, if the distribution chooses to create the transaction to be resolved by specific solvers. As I said, Defuse is in its alpha stage. It is available right now at defuse.org, and I invite everybody to come there and try it out. The experience might be pretty rough at the moment. However, that's the reason why it is alpha. What you would be able to do on Defuse is to trade spot assets directly on Near blockchain, and in the following days, you will be able to purchase assets on Base and Bitcoin blockchains too. So these will be first two networks that are going to be added to Defuse in our multi-chain expansion. So stay tuned for the updates. And if you're watching this video not on the 8th of August, but a little bit later, then you would be able perhaps already try trading BTC and Base and native-based assets there. Now, let's talk a little bit about the features and especially future features of Defuse, because it is in the alpha stage. Besides spot trading, as I was saying, what Defuse is going to enable is the transfers of any assets at extremely low fees and super fast. And the way how it is done is that these transfers of these assets, and I'm saying this, any assets on any chain, these transfers are going to be performed inside of the Near protocol, and there is no need to perform a transaction on the protocol where the asset is located. So Defuse becomes a very efficient remittance layer for any assets in the crypto. And the most important thing is that using only Near accounts, the users will be able to have the exposure to all of these assets and be able to use them without the need to onboard to other ecosystems, which usually is very clunky, complicated, and includes lots of additional steps. The most complicated of which is obviously an ability to move the liquidity into this ecosystem. As I was mentioning, NFT trading, and which is pretty interesting piece, and SBT trading is now available on Defuse. So yes, with the development of the technologies like Defuse, SBTs are no longer making any sense. They can't be traded just because the account on which the SBT is located can be traded. Besides that, non-transferable assets, they also can be traded and lended, like VE, CRV, or some other assets. Also, the interesting use case is that, for example, just accounts that do not have the assets, however, they have some intrinsic value, for example, like the accounts that were used in the farming of an airdrop, but the airdrop not yet happened. These accounts now become also liquid. They can be traded, and people who have been participating in the airdrop are able to liquidate their position way before the airdrop was taken in place. Besides only trading, obviously use cases like lending can be developed on top of Defuse. You can think of the multi-chain financial products creation like index tokens. Through Defuse and through chain signatures specifically, users of the Near blockchain and the holders of the Near account will be able to access any application on any other chain, enabling the multi-chain DeFi access. And this is super great. So in order, if you want to have this access, you're able to do all of this from a single chain. And obviously, since I'm also representing Aurora here, the Aurora virtual chains, our solution that allows anyone to launch their own blockchain together with all of the necessary infrastructure. For everyone who is choosing Aurora virtual chains as the technology, as the backbone technology for their own chains, Defuse is going to be available for all of you from the first block, which means that you won't not need to build the multi-chain DeFi infrastructure. It is just going to be available to you from the first block. Defuse is an open protocol, as I was saying. We're welcoming everyone to contribute. You are able to find more information about Defuse on our website, defuse.org. And I encourage you to join the revolution today. Let's make the trading and the other different new types of use cases that are powered by AccountFi available in the most secure and decentralized manner, exactly in alignment with the core values of the blockchain vertical and the blockchain community. Besides that, we're also hiring, so check out the job section on our website. Thanks again, and once again, big congratulations to the Near protocol for launching chain signatures. This is a great achievement. See you guys.
Pretty good, right? Can somebody fucking tell Alex that there's more colors than white and beige? You need to get a friggin' interior designer in there. But look, we do have a IRL person, a wonderful gentleman, the head of Labs. His name is Alexei. Kendall, Joe, you guys are much more technical than me. I would love for you to have that conversation with Alexei. Alexei, perhaps you can give us a bit of an intro first.
Thank you for the intro. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm the head of engineering of Aurora Labs, and I take part in development efforts of Defuse protocol. So I'm here to answer any questions you have.
Yeah, there's a key feature in here. Really, it's about the cross-chain swaps. And so this I guess for both Kendall and Alexei. you talk a little bit like what that really means to do a cross-chain swap? Because it's not a bridge. So like what exactly is happening here?
So on the one hand, it's not a bridge, but it does feel and act like a bridge as well. And in a sense, central exchanges like Binance, they do in fact behave like bridges as well. So what is the key difference here? It's intent-based. So that's and it's open for everybody to be involved in these cross-chain swaps. So what it opens is basically a market force to find the best possible exchange rates across not only DeFi, but also central exchanges as well. So you can imagine solvers being connected to multiple exchanges at the same time. If there's any sort of arbitrage opportunity, and there's like cross-chain, other cross-chain dexes, possible dexes available, the market force will find the optimal solutions to the users and present it to them. So that's the main difference or the main benefit of Defuse. This optimization that's sort of always evolving, always trying to find the best way forward for the users.
Yeah, super exciting. I mean, I think it's going to, primarily improve upon pricing that users can get, especially moving between chains. If you could maybe just like walk through kind of the user flow, like what it's going to look like. I'm a user. I have, let's say Near, and I want to get to Solana and like Sol. What that sort of experience is going to look like for me, and what's kind of happening in the background there.
So it will look identical, almost identical to the normal exchange you would normally see on the internet. So like the best case scenario, it would feel like any central exchange experience. So you just enter the amount of money you would like to swap. You get the number, you press the button, and the magic happens behind the scene. You get Solana, you get a token on Solana. And you continue trading these tokens. The beauty of it is all of these transactions could be happening without making any transactions on Solana itself. But at the same time, if you, in fact, want to withdraw the money to any of the chains, to Solana, for example, then the withdrawal transaction could be generated and the chain signature service could be involved to sign the relevant transaction. And then you can get the tokens to your Solana account. So, but the normal day-to-day trading, it will be insanely fast, and like all of the transactions would be settled on the Near network.
Yeah, that point is super exciting. And actually, I gave a poor example there with Near to Solana, but if you think like Bitcoin to Ethereum, that's where you start to really be able to take advantage of those speed improvements. You're not going to have to deal with that 10-minute block time directly.
Yeah, so the speed is not the only advantage. So Alex mentioned account fi. So the thing is, account fi, it completely breaks a lot of assumptions in the other ecosystems. For example, a lot of NFT contracts, they charge royalty fees, or there's a lot of business logic in the soulbound tokens and so on. You will be able to make transactions for these type of assets on Near without performing any transactions on the other chains, which is mind-blowing. So I think nobody really comprehends the full impact of this to the DeFi ecosystem, but it would be huge.
So let's say I, for whatever reason, was spending my weekends farming some shitcoin airdrop on whatever chain, and I had the receipts to prove it because it's on the blockchain. Could I then technically sell that account via Defuse if I did it with the Defuse account?
Absolutely. So your key, when you make transactions with a Defuse account, you don't have access to the private key. So there are special abstractions in Defuse protocol that basically make sure that you don't really sign anything malicious, which could bite other people in the ass when they purchase your account. But yes, you will be able to trade your account to somebody else, and nobody will know the private key of it but the MPC, Multi-Party Computation network itself.
Yeah, if you could unpack the account fi kind of primitive a little bit more, I think that'd be really helpful for the audience. Like, I think that the key thing is like, am I understanding this correctly? I think I am, but are you actually trading the public key effectively rather than anything else? And what are some of the implications of that?
Of course, so an account is basically a combination of a private key from the cryptographic perspective and the public key. Nobody knows the private key, but the owner of this private key. And the assumption everybody used to work before with is that the person who used to sign the transactions with their private key, they are in the possession of this key. And this key, it doesn't make sense to share this key. If you share it, like all of your assets could be stolen, and this happens multiple times with seed phrases and stuff like that. But with the chain abstraction primitive, it's no longer the case. So the private key, it's basically impossible to extract from the network. So it's shared between the computers, and not a single party knows what this key is. All you can do is you can sign transactions, that's it. And because of that, when you hand over control over this account on Near, the other person can start signing the transactions and make sure that the previous owner cannot do anything else anymore. So that's the account file primitive, and it breaks the whole DeFi ecosystem, in my opinion.
In a positive way. That's in a positive way. Points ramifications are different. Like the points programs are going to change. Soulbound tokens are going to change. A lot of these concepts are like the idea of you can't move your account. One person, one account is going to change. And that's exciting.
Exactly. It opens a new wave of innovation.
One thing that brings to mind is just that, again, we talk about like being able to onboard more people to the crypto ecosystem, is that this scenario feels a little bit more like what I would expect in a real world, where that I am not locked into my particular private key. I'm not managing 1,000 keys here, right? And so that whole experience where it's, I can actually essentially sell or trade my public key, which is the same as like a bank account, right? Like I can transfer my bank account to someone else. And so that process really feels like it's changing, like you said, the whole aspect of what DeFi could actually be for everyone, not just the traditional crypto user.
Agree. So it benefits both the users, but also the protocols who create new networks, who create new chains. So they could easily be connected to Defuse, and through this intent-based system, start trading, exchanging assets on the newly launched networks, which is truly fascinating. It could basically reduce the time to market for the new chains to minutes. So it could be out-of-the-box experience for a person to launch a new chain, launch a token, and launch liquidity, launch trading on Defuse without a huge capital cost of doing this. So really, really fascinating.
And there's so much to go into here. I don't even know where to like fully get into all of this parts of it. But one last thing you just mentioned about like being able to kind of bootstrap right off the bat if you're starting a new chain. So, and again, this could be for either Alexei or Kendall. Where does the like a market maker model still fit into all of this in a DeFi perspective? I found instantly like being able to now swap and trade through something like Defuse.
I can start answering this. So the problem like this exists for the chains who want to launch. Like when the chain launches, they would, or let's say a token launches. Usually the founders, they want to provide some sort of a liquidity. They want to start making the markets, and they want to create basically a pair of assets, a stable coin and the newly launched token. And if they want to create this trading pair on a single network, the capital cost is X. If they want to create it on multiple networks, it's X/2. So with Defuse, what they are able to do is they're able to create a trading pair for the newly launched asset or a network on pretty much all the possible networks with the same capital cost X. So they can provide the same depth of liquidity on all chains for all users at the same time. So, and they can also, of course, we will work on the primitives to make it automatic and so on, but it will be possible.
Yeah, as Alexei pointed out there very correctly, it's like one of the big challenges of launching a new chain is you want every single user with assets on every single chain to be able to get to your chain as smoothly and frictionlessly as possible. Usually that involves a bunch of different bridges, and that ultimately takes time. So we've never really seen a chain launch where all of the major chains can easily bridge to that chain or get value to that chain on day one or in a short period of time. And thanks to this type of primitive, you now can. Basically, wherever you have assets, thanks to this primitive, you'll have some pretty slick pathway to that new chain, which is a big boon for these founders as they come to market with their chains and products.
That's incredible. So.
It's amazing. Alexei, thank you so much for your time. One last thing before you jump off and we introduce our next guest. Where do people go if they want to find out more? Hit them with the website, hit them with the socials, hit them with the OnlyFans page, whatever people need to know in order to learn more about Defuse. Where do they go?
Go to defuse.org. You can actually start testing and already swapping assets on your chain. So, and the quotes and the rates are really good, better than the other exchanges. So go explore. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Alexei. Super exciting.
Very exciting, guys. Just before we introduce the next guest, I've got a somewhat of a personal vendetta I need to call out. I don't condone doing this. Don't do it. If you are already addicted, then try and quit. It's bad for your blood pressure and everything, right? But I'm a big fan, one of many, of nicotine pouches, tobacco free. Now, I recently called out publicly Mert from the Solana ecosystem. As you all know, he is the CEO and founder of Helium, the decentralized wireless infrastructure protocol. He said that he was just starting on level 3 or level 4. And now I have level 4s, but because I am so wired and so zoned in and I got that dog in me, every single time I do 2. So Mert, if you want to have a nicotine off, we can have a nicotine off, but we will save that until next time because it's time to introduce our next guest. She is a wonderful person and representative of Allstake. But before that, we're going to show you a quick little snappy video, their case study, and we're going to hear from Danny Osorio. So over to Danny.
Allstake is a native restaking solution that is focused on non-EVM chains. Restaking is a new primitive in crypto economic security, enabling users to natively restake a wide range of assets, LSTs, LRTs, LP tokens, stablecoins, on multiple chains. Allstake is built using chain signatures, and the Near Hub is where all the smart contracts live for Allstake. Near chain abstraction is actually what is enabling us to do this very novel meshed restaking, which enables native restaking in all these alternative chains. We picked Near because it was the only technology that would let us do this. It really is helpful that everything can be centered into these smart contracts that are inside the Near Hub, and the developer experience is far better than what they've seen before. This product is for anyone who is staking, who is participating in a liquid staking pool, whether that's linear or meta pool. It's for validators who want to participate and wants to get additional yield.
All right, that was the wonderful Danny Osorio, a partner at MetaWeb and a wonderful advisor to Allstake. But now we have Allstake's very own Ann Ling. Ann Ling, unmute your mic, give us an introduction, and tell us what it's all about.
Hello, hi everyone. Wow, that was a really amazing video. This is my first time seeing it. Really good, cool productions. So thanks to Danny, our great advisors. I'm super excited to be here today. We'll talk about how Allstake can support Near chain signatures. First, let me share my screen. Can you guys see it?
Perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so as Danny mentioned, that Allstake is a match restaking platforms that we allow user to restake their native tokens on their native chains, right? We support like LSTs, LRTs, LP tokens, stable coins, on multiple chains like Near, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more in the future. So some of the highlights. So first is we are match restaking. So that means users do not need to do any bridging when they want to restake their tokens. And then the second is more efficient. So it's actually reduced the overall cost of security. And then most importantly is we are using the chain signatures, to facilitate the cross-chain interoperability. And also we are supporting non-smart contract chains such as BTC, Dodge, XRPs. And here is a demonstration of the Allstake Hub. So the core component Allstake is the Allstake Hub, which is like a fork of EigenLayer, but built on Near protocols. So we manage all the AVSs, operators, user staking data, and like for operators, they can register different AVS on Near and receive delegations from different chains. And then for Bitcoins, we allow users to restake BTC on Allstake via addresses controlled by chain signatures. Here's an example of the cross-chain communications and between Near and Solana's. So to make sure the AVS can utilize all the delegation data to calculate operator seeds, rewards, slashes, and we synchronize operators delegation data to Allstake Hub via light clients and other methods such as Wormhead. Here are some highlights of Allstakes. So first, we avoid the single asset risk, which by we use the multi-asset restakings. So we use ETH, BTC Near for security, and then reduce the risk and increase the stability. And then second is enhanced cross-chain composability. So by enable each chain to generate its own decentralized trust, we allow users to on each chain to help secure the ABS. And then also is the third is the state sustainable tokenomics. So the challenge right now is that traditional schemes assume ABS can generate enough profit, or they maintain a token stability. But our solution is that we boost earnings by staking ABS tokens, issue incentives across chains with standardized conditions. And then lastly is the validator diversification. So by attracting validator from multiple chains, we enhance the decentralization and resilience. For the use cases, so the first use case is the cross-chain bridge. So we use cross-chain bridge to secure by each chains a connect. This is especially beneficial for native asset cross-chain bridges, which requires multi-asset liquidity. And then the second is shared sequencers. So shared sequencer that serve different chains and environment can get unparalleled security from Allstake. And then the third one is the decentralized intent sovereign networks. So the Near chain signature solution combined with the decentralized intent sovereign network will create a highly secured and user-friendly chain abstraction infrastructure, which drives mass adoption for Web3 users, making it easy and safe for anyone to interact with all the apps. And then lastly is the omni-chain exchanges. So for off-chain order books that receive deposit from multiple chains, it can decentralize their infrastructure by using all-stake to channel security from the chain that they serve. In terms of the timelines right now, we are on stage 0. We are the deposit stake of Near, Solana, already the LSTs are already live, and then similar to Eigenlayer, that also provides the middleware and SDKs to make it more easy to build a staking and slashing model for the decentralized MPC network. So the demo will be ready around mid-August, and then we'll be finishing auditing and of Near, the all-stake hub, and then also the middleware by the end of August. So we have an amazing team. We are a team consists of like core contributor from top chains like Near and EOS, and also some of the top DeFi protocols and large tech companies. And we also have an incredible lineup of advisors and partners. Ilya is our angel investors. Tina, head of product at Eigenlayer, she's also an advisor, and Danny, partner at MetaWeb, she's also an advisor and a huge supporter. So right now, Allstake is live, and the video I think she already shared about how it works. I'll just give a quick demo of the website and then. So this is our website, allstake.org. Right now, as I said, the phase 0 is live. You can go to launch app page. Okay, so you can go to the app and then deposit whether LSC on Near, Linear, SC Near, or LSTs on Solana, MSO, Judo, etc. To get the rewards and also the points. Yeah, so that's it.
Amazing. Anling, thank you so much. Look, I'm sure there's a ton of questions, plenty to discuss. Kendall, Joe, is there anything you want to dive into in regards to Allstake, how those guys are using chain signatures, and what it means?
Yeah, I think one of the really cool things you pointed out there, Anling, is that that you guys can, thanks to chain signatures, let users restake assets like Bitcoin that they wouldn't be able to using other restaking solutions. I'm curious, kind of like what other assets you guys think are interesting that just won't really be available via something that isn't Allstake effectively.
I see. So right now we're supporting BTC, right? We're working with Solve protocols as like they're the largest BTC right now. And then we are also talking to Tom as they are also like pretty active right now. So, by doing this, we can actually more efficiently using these assets and secure the network.
Super exciting. Yeah, I think Ton is going to unlock a lot of excitement and utility for a lot of users.
Right. Yeah, especially on the game and social side. Yes, especially very like popular, like especially among like the Asian market right now. Like a lot of very playable games are building on Terra right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge user base.
Very cool. I mean, looking forward to seeing the rest of the timeline come to fruition. There's definitely a lot there that is just, I think probably a way to better leverage underutilized tokens, and obviously stuff that, and then I think the restaking part of it's going to be pretty massive change to some different options that are out there. But no, this is a great next step, a great use of chain signature. So exciting to see it go live.
Okay, thank you, Drew.
And it's been nothing less than a pleasure. Thank you very, very much. We would love to stay and talk all day, but we do have a couple more equally wonderful projects that we need to get through. If you do have any questions about any of the projects, about where I got my tracksuit from, about my receding hairline, about Kendall, Joe, anybody, anything, Nia, chain signatures or otherwise, go ahead and throw them in the comments on YouTube or on Twitter, and we will get around to them. My question now, though, Joe, Kendall, how do you say please in German?
I have no idea. Joe, to you.
I believe it's Bitte, isn't it?
It is Bitte.
Of course.
Absolutely correct. And that is the name of the next project that is coming up onto your screens right now, folks. It is my privilege to welcome the wonderful Nate Gear, the Portugal-based surfer extraordinaire with the now coolest tattoo I've ever seen, adorning his forearm. There you go. We talk all about AI agents, everything Bitte, and chain signatures and more. Nate, how are you doing?
Oh, I could be better. I actually just quit my nicotine regime 3 days ago, so I'm in the heat of it. I got sucked into vaping for the last 6 months, and boy, what a stupid thing to do.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right?
Yeah, but
Well,
excited to show all things cross-chain signatures. So off we go.
Speaking of nicotine, if you are interested, there are these nicotine pouches available to purchase. You can find the link in my bio. I get a slight cut on everything you buy, FYI. But anyway, let's go back to the topic at hand, chain signatures. Tell us everything about it. Give us an introduction, who you are, what you do, and about all things Bitte.
Sweet. We've got a demo as well. Yeah, Bitte. Bitteschön. It's the German word for please. Somehow we secured Bitte.ai. You can go to it and check it out. The main theory is please AI build and execute this transaction for me, please. Because the Germans, if you go to Germany, they say please all the time. Please, 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 please. So it's we built the company in 2018, starting in Berlin. So and I also have a German wife and co-founder. So it's Bitte is strong with the system. So should I jump in and show you all the things?
Let's do it. I can't think of a better time.
All right, I'm gonna go super quick. We're like what, 10 minutes for this?
As long as you need, my friend. As long as you need. 10 minutes sounds good.
Cool. All right, so chain abstraction. We've been cranking on this for quite some time. Somehow we magically built a wallet. So you might have known us as Mintbase. We do a lot of NFT stuff. We built a wallet specifically because no other wallet allowed us to do the activations we wanted to do, whether it was ticketing or whatever it is we were doing. So we leveraged Near's chain abstraction to build an epic wallet, which means you can create a private key, store it into your passkey without needing seed phrases, and you can create accounts and you can sponsor transactions, so those transactions could be free. So we took it one step further. We white labeled this thing. So we did a launch with ICC where normal users were able to come in and create sort of a reward mechanism. And now we can white label anyone's stuff. So now that we have this sort of base, we saw the natural evolution for chain abstraction to come into play. So that now gives us access to all the different groups, whether it's Base, Gnosis Chain, Arbitron. We have all these signatures ready to go. They're not ready to go today. Near just went to mainnet yesterday or today, and so we're going to give it a week for us to process. But here you can see a signed transaction using a Near account to go to my little MetaMask. We just sent it to this ending in 275. You can see the account is 1.28. And if you want, you can see this transaction was made today on Sepolia testnet. And so let's see if it incrementally, see it just went to 130, that's epic. So now we can actually go into testnet.wallet.bitte.ai. Not only do we have ETH on Sepolia, but you can also have other stable coins like UCSD, DAI, and CowSwap. And it's just going to embed directly into the wallet as seamless as the rest. You can go into your account settings and you'll have your ETH address that will correspond to all the different pieces. So now that we have that sort of base figured out, we can start doing other crazy things on day one. So with Wallet Connect, that's in the near-term roadmap, you'll be able to buy NFTs directly connecting to Wallet Connect on the Bitte wallet. If you haven't used that interface yet, I would highly suggest messing around. And so where this is also heading is we have our AI mechanism built in now as well. So we did our ref AI agent where you're able to swap 0.3 near for USDT using human readable conversation. So all this does is really builds a transaction for you, and then you can hit sign and execute. This is getting better as the days go on, and that's pretty unique. Not only can you do this, but we can do other mechanisms like let's crank this up to 2. So not only can we do DeFi swaps, of course, we can do all things on Mint-based, which is generate images using Dolly and Mint on Near. So where does this go with cross-chain? Obviously, cross-chain is just a built transaction. And with AI, we're able to build all of these transactions just from normal conversation. If you go into ChatGPT today, you can actually already say what NFTs are for sale on OpenSea without needing a plugin. And you can see we're generating the images and off we go. So today, the agent marketplace that we have integrated Dolly, Rev Finance for DeFi swaps. We just integrated, created a CoinGecko AI agent, and Potluck has also integrated along with Astro DAO, where you can see this heading is just having conversations like, put up a vote for this. Can I see the votes for that? And with cross-chain, not only can we do these amazing things within the Near ecosystem, which is a great sort of testing ground, I would say, but then being able to create, Uniswap agents, the same as difficulty as us building the ref agent, which I think took us about 2.5 weeks of 2 developers cranking on it. I think we're going to get into a new green field where we can just really make the charge. So we don't want to build these agents. We want to kind of focus on the reporting mechanisms. Imagine going into Potluck and being able to do all the filtering and sorting and see all the graphs and charts and make these super pretty. And when you're executing the transactions, making sure that that's incredibly safe what you're doing. That's what we want to focus on. That's why we're launching the playground, where you can come in to templates.bitte.ai. You can go to the DeFi Swap AI assistant. You can fork it, deploy it, and you can upload that into our playground and play with it without needing to integrate it into the main system so that you can refine it and see how it goes. So the way the architecture is going to work is you're going to be able to select different agents that you want to work with. Let's say Metapool wants to have people vote on a DAO, and having that connect with maybe Ref Finance if they need to swap tokens to get the Metapool token. You'll be able to share links that have these 2 pegged agents attached to it to make those conversations happen. So again, go to our docs.bitte.ai, go to agent plugin, and you can fork the AI agent today and start interacting with it just by following the guideline. It should take less than 10 minutes if you're super fast. We also have Stripe partnership that we've had for quite some time. We got accepted into the crypto on-ramp program, which means that once we create these ETH accounts, base accounts, Sol, Matic, BTC, Avalanche, and so on, we can actually have users fund these accounts directly using credit card or other ACH means. And when we start getting into that world, Apple Pay is also an easy win. So very exciting. This is sort of the overreaching world of where we're heading with this. AI agents getting paid back, sort of a thank you for helping build the transactions. The relayer is there to allow anybody to fund a smart contract and basically allow free transactions for those users. And the whole goal is allowing people to build activations as quickly and easily as possible and making cross-chain executions seamless. So I think that's the heavy dirt of it. And we're still here because of the sharding. That's the main piece. I'll end it on this note. So basically, I remember writing this tweet back in the day. This is sort of the why still near slide. It said, last month, our claim system was terrible at 4 shards. It took 1 minute to claim, might as well use ETH. Near protocol added 2 more shards, and just like that, claims are ripping fast. To me, this is where this is going to start getting incredibly interesting, is being able to queue up these transactions using the dynamic resharding to execute these transactions when they're needed. This is going to be the big win. Okay, so I would like to stop sharing now and have a conversation.
Amazing. Okay. Well, you'll be glad to know that there will be even more shards on the horizon, not so far away.
Cool.
So exciting times. Bitte AI. Kendall, Joe, what do you think? Are we gonna throw some super difficult questions over at Nate about chain signatures and how it's revolutionizing the world of Web3? Or are we gonna throw in some curveballs, some easy ones?
There was so much alpha in those last few minutes. I don't even know where to start. But yeah, I think that Bitte is by far the closest experience I've seen to that vision of like you just have a wallet everywhere. It's like a click to set it up, and then every single device you have, if you're in the Apple world or like the Android world, it's just there, it just works. It's crazy. I recommend everybody try it. But Nate, my big question, and because I think I'm personally super excited about this, is when Bitcoin, because I need a one-click Bitcoin wallet on all my devices.
Yeah, I'm super excited to go to our website and see 7 chains light up green automatically, because we can just be like EVM, 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 and being super comfortable with those things operating at the speed they need. Bitcoin, we've already got the signatures working, but I think what it really comes down to with Bitcoin is those 10-minute block times get pretty painful. So constantly doing pings to RPCs for the Bitcoin bits might be a little challenging, but it's there. It's definitely part of the process. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2014, and I think I let it go when I got into ETH at $1.03 or whatever it was, and I haven't looked back. I was always like, proof of stake. Like, why would anybody want this proof of work thing?
Everybody knows that Nate bought ETH at $1.03. So if you want to do some digging, don't worry. No,
I just want to ask about the AI piece of this. So, like, obviously, Near's doing a lot of, it's AI and chain signatures. So you guys are marrying everything. But for when it comes to actually doing these transactions, how much work goes into that piece of it when you add a new chain? So is it something where you have to go back and make sure those intents are retrained and set up a certain way? Like, how are you verifying some of that?
Yeah, the hardest part is really the indexing problem when you go to new chains, right? It's, I have to run an indexer to figure out exactly what's on OpenSea, if something's listed, did someone buy it, who owns this token, those sort of things. I just thought it was incredibly fascinating that you literally can go into ChatGPT and you can almost build a transaction just from native data that exists today. Again, it's a little outdated. Like you go there and you say, what items are for sale on this contract? And it spits out the token ID, the contract ID. Those are the price, the only elements you need. And then I think like 3 out of the 4 were correct. So it gets a little difficult. Again, a lot of these things we're building aren't exactly for what works perfectly today. We're all knowing where things are heading. So I think that there's going to be a moment where indexers are almost not going to be needed anymore, right? Someone's going to create the God indexer and then create the God agent that works with that. And they're going to cost pennies on the dollar. And then they're going to get paid in Bitte token potentially to suck all that up. So it's yeah, it's a fast pace. So to answer your question, building the transactions aren't hard, right? This is how you build a transaction. You need these 5 elements for this. You need these for that. So it's really all about how do I get that data and how do I push that into a thing and make sure that that's correct. So, yep.
Amazing. So we actually have a nice, beautiful little demo of Bitte from about a month ago, I think. It doesn't leverage chain signatures, but it does show you just how easy it is to build those transactions. So we are going to cut to that demo, and we will see you right after it. Hi, everybody. This is my apology. There's 2 Bitte videos. I believe that one did leverage chain signatures. Maybe, Nate, you can take us through what just happened. Tell us all about it. How did you use Near account to interact with Sepolia Ethereum testnet?
I think I did that in the demo of the D demo, but yeah, I can explain it again. We sent ETH over to the thing, and then the thing got money in MetaMask. Magic.
Hey, simple as that. Simple as that. So what you just saw there, that was actually recorded. I think I recorded that and I sent it to a wonderful designer that we work with to make it beautiful. And that was me swapping Near for USDC in a handful of seconds, super easily. Didn't need to set up a seed phrase. I didn't need to jump through 1,000 different hoops. And my God, it's a completely different experience from so many of the other Web3 applications that we see today. So kudos to you, Nate, and the whole team. And thank you for making our lives a little bit easier every single day.
Let's go. Build.
All right. That was the wonderful Nate Gear, everybody. I hope he's recovering from his nicotine withdrawals. I've heard it's, 2 or 3 days and then it starts to calm down a bit, but I don't think the itch ever goes away. So he's going to have to replace that with something, hopefully building with chain signatures. Fingers crossed. Okay. Last but not least, on our walk through the beautiful forest that is the world of chain signatures on Near right now. These guys have actually been building with it for some time. You probably know them if you're in the Near ecosystem. If you're a degenerate farmer, I'm sure you also know them. If you live on Telegram, then you will certainly know them. That is the Here Wallet team, the wonderful team behind Hot Protocol, consistently ranks top 3, I think, in terms of active wallets every month in the world of Web3. You can double check that on DeFi Llama. So let's hear from them. Let's check out their video.
Hi everyone, my name is Peter Wonov and I'm co-founder of Hot Protocol. And today I want to share what Hot is, the history of Hot, and how Hot related to new chain abstraction. So Hot is actually a product pretty similar to Near Chain Signature. We have many shared code base with their team, and we launched 4 months earlier. But Hot Protocol solving the same problem what Near Chain Signature do. This is a network of decentralized validator hosted by different companies and created to provide sign features for the smart contract which operate on chain. So Hot protocol now is live in beta net. We have the first net of validators. You can track the situation on the hot scan. Now they created about like 1 million plus MPC wallets over Hot protocol. I will tell about this a little later. And you can see in real time that like every second there's a few transactions signed with Hot protocol. The main difference between near chain signature and Hot protocol is actually the problem we focus to solve. So Hot protocol on a core level creates a side method for smart contracts on any blockchains. The core logic still operate on the near blockchain, like payments, verifications, the protocol setup, votes, everything operate on near blockchain, but the API created to be multi-chain and created to be available for any smart contracts. The other big difference is that the sign method is actually gas-free. So users can call sign method unlimited amount of time without having to make transaction on chain. This is two fundamental difference between Hot protocol nature and signature. We both back the new protocol, we both solving the sign method problem, but Hot protocol available as API also on a base, on a BNB, and there will be more chains soon. And also Hot protocol during the design of verification helps to create MPC wallets and other services which require quick and gas-free signing. The MPC wallet for now is the main use case for Hot protocol because one smart contract on any blockchain can create like unlimited amount of MPC wallet on top of it, and all these wallets can sign transaction, verify the ownership during the data which stored into the smart contract, but without having to spend gas to make signing. And these MPC wallets which created over Hot protocol, now there are more than 1,200,000 wallets created, and these wallets has replaceable seed phrase. They also have 2FA, they can be set up with account recovery, this account can be transferred to another users, and this probably is the main use case for now for Hot, and this already works. Hot protocol accounts supported by Hot wallet, which is really huge infrastructure wallet. It's operated on mobile, web extension, and Telegram. The Hot wallet now has about 3 million daily active users, and all their EVM accounts already operate over Hot protocol. In the future, if these people will receive some airdrops or high score of the wallet, they will be able to sell it on secondary market. And all this account for the whole future will have to use Hot protocol to make any future transaction. We're pretty proud for this, and we're happy to provide the best possible experience for users in this way. Hot protocol also goes through a few really huge load tests during some meme coins launch. It's operate pretty stable for now, and we also happy to share that even for this huge amount of users, the Hot protocol design and of course new chain signature stack, which we based on the cryptographic side, works pretty good. The other big uses for Hot protocol, which you already can see, is the bridges. So smart contracts can actually sign transaction on other blockchains, and you can deposit money on BNB. You can ask BNB smart contract to sign that this transaction actually exists, or like the deposit request. And another smart contract on base chain can actually verify this message, verify this transaction, and complete most for the user. Now we have a Hot bridge. It's live. You can find it in the Hot wallet. It's a main bridge between chains. It's the fourth most popular bridge on the base, and the third most popular bridge on BNB chain for today by amount of unique users. And we are going to transform this bridge soon into their multi-chain, multi-DeFi protocol, so people would be able to utilize Hot protocol to create many cool chain agnostic applications and DeFi products. So yeah, this is Hot Protocol. What is good to you? It's a wallet, and you can see screenshots from the Hot wallet, which supported for now, and we will be happy to release our SDK pretty soon. So any other wallet would be also create MPC wallets for their users over Hot Protocol. It's a lot of new methods for account ownership, recovery, and security, which open up for users because they can set up any custom logic into this core smart contract, which actually realize access for the MPC wallets users have. Hot Protocol also provide bridges, which I mentioned before. That's also live, that's integrated. In my opinion, Hot Protocol now is like the most has the most user face, which you can find in the near chain abstraction group. And we are focusing on the final retail users, and we create products for them. And that's what we are pretty proud to provide, like this good quality, speed, and security for users, backed by the opportunities which chain signature give to us. It's also in the future OPT market for wallets. So if your wallets can be transferred and your seed phrase can be replaced, you can again sell your reputation, sell your locked tokens on your wallet, and on a fundamental level, it's provide like more value for your crypto wallet. So if you just want to use some DeFi protocols and you never was care about drop hunting, but you have a hot wallet, one day we can just say hi. A wallet like you has a price in the secondary market like 0.1 Ethereum if you're interested, and you of course in that moment can like withdraw your tokens, say okay, my reputation of my wallet is really valuable, I'm gonna sell it, and that's really cool. So your wallets, if it's were operated on Hot Protocol MPC network, actually has some value which will be realized in the future. The whole Hot Protocol works over like MPC or multi-party computation. We, as I mentioned before, use the mostly same code base for the core logic of creating signature, of adding new validators to the network, of controlling like the status of the protocol and stuff like this. Each validator has a piece of private key. Of course, no one can sign transaction without participate of other validators. Message can be sent with threshold if some validators are not joining the network. But the biggest difference with new chain signature is that Hot Protocol also support validation over the multi-chain RPCs. So new chain signature require you to call sign method from the near protocol, and Hot Protocol is actually open up this method for any smart contracts on any blockchain. We only talk about SDK, like API, how smart contracts can trigger this. The payments, the infrastructure still operate on near, but this API is multi-chain, which open up a way for a lot of, for a huge different group of product. So we now support only one curve, which mostly used by EVM chains, but we are working on support another one pretty soon. I think it's going to take a couple of months for us to add, and when it's done, Ton, Solana, all those like popular blockchains will be able to also operate over Hot Protocol MPC wallets, and smart contracts on all those blockchains will receive an API to sign messages and sign transaction over other blockchains, which is going to be incredibly cool. And I see many great products which can be built on top of it. We also support MPC wallets on Ton for now. It's a limited edition. We had our own version of the V4, smart contract on Ton, which use EDCA signature to make transactions. But we are planning to support other curve pretty soon and open up Ton for us in a more sustainable way. So what's next? We're adding new ways for creating new curve on the network. We're explaining validator network. we're making more nodes to participate in each signature. And we also migrate to the trust execution environment to make sure that nodes, even if they will be compromised, they will not have access to, they will not be able to send message for users. Hot protocol also already supported a few huge projects which was launched it. It was a few meme coins, NFTs. Some of them, like DoubleDoc, was immediately launched on a booth on the two blockchains like BNB and Near. All this product was backed by Hot Protocol MPC directly, or the smart contract was controlled by Hot MPC, and this is just the beginning. We will really promote community to create more great product, meme coins, NFT collections, protocols over Hot, and we would love to see what's coming in the near future. So that's the main product from ecosystem right now. Again, as I mentioned before, we are probably the most retail user-focused product now in the near-chain abstraction stack group. We have a huge wallet and a huge user base which we integrate with, and this really helps us to release the features and make them available to the world. We do a lot of stuff with other products, and we also incubate a few by ourselves. So you can see if you, for example, Hot Swaps now has more than 600,000 unique traders, which is really cool, and like most of them now actually trade with wallets controlled by Hot Protocol. And this number is going to be 100% as we done with the roadmap. Hot integration for now, Telegram wallet, as I mentioned before, Hot bridge, ton smart contracts, and way more you can find on our official websites. So this was briefly about Hot Protocol. So again, I will bring back. So it's a network of validators using the pretty same core what near-chain signature does, but solving different problems. Yeah, for example, you can see now a transaction on Base, which was just found on like our index here, and this transaction was signed by Hot Protocol. So Hot Protocol is more focused on multi-chain and more focused on retail use cases, but that's also bring up, we really believe in a general chain abstraction narrative. We see a lot of cool stuff which can be built, and we're really happy to provide the infrastructure for other projects or for like some maybe internal teams to build on top of it, and to make Web3 more accessible for users, more convenient for users, and to make wallet and other infrastructure experience way better than we have today. I'm really excited to see what's going to be next few months. We have a few huge updates coming up, but already today I think Hot Protocol has like keep providing a huge value for your ecosystem and contribute to project which I built on it. Thanks for your attention. I was happy to share briefly what's going on. Of course, we have way more which you can find on our websites, wallets, documentation. We're developing really fast, so we keep improving everything. And like we had more examples, we had more like public smart contracts you can use as a simple bot. It's already there's already a few stuff to learn, and like we would love to see more projects built on top of Hot Protocol. Thank you everyone for the attention, and you always feel free to text me on Telegram if you have any questions. I would love to share more.
All right, you heard it here first. Plenty of alpha there for Peter of Hot Wallet fame. Look, I think it's something that we should all reiterate is that the chain abstraction tech stack, chain signatures, everything around it, completely open. So it doesn't matter whether you are from Solana or Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. It's probably a rough one, but we'll still take it. Anyone, anywhere, you're welcome here. And it also doesn't matter if you have a perm, like some of our guests today may or may not have had. We will still take you, and we will still welcome you with open arms. So Kendall, Joe, that was Here Wallet, one of the most used in terms of monthly active wallets dApps in the entire world of Web3 now, aided in part, of course, by the prevalence of Telegram. Any comments that you want to make on here on Hot before we dive in?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really exciting, similar to Sweat, they've cultivated just a massive, unique following. And now, thanks to chain signatures tech, they're able to kind of take that following to basically any crypto ecosystem in existence. So I think, and what's really cool is it's very interactive, right? It's not they have this user base that just gets given a list of links and like goes out and comes back. No, they do everything from within the application. And so I think it's like a much stickier onboarding experience for applications. Like they get access to a big user base, and it's like they'll actually be able to retain some of them. So it's super exciting seeing what they've been able to accomplish. And I think it's really only just getting started with being able to utilize chain signature tech.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think from like a product standpoint, it's Sweat and Hot are in the same boat because you see that they're able to build a user experience that keeps the user in one location, which I think is like really a critical piece of all of this, where you start to lose people, where people get scammed, all the different things when you start sending people out away from your initial product. And so being able to do that, and I think the expansion now with chain signatures and everything is really what's going to enable a lot of that for a lot more projects.
Amazing. I completely agree. All right, guys, we only have a few minutes left, but we did get some
You've been duped into thinking anything decentralized was ever gonna work. But don't worry, there's a better way. Stop wasting your time with all this blockchain and go back to the norm. Get a latte and stop trying to change the world. Build the future of finance and stop corporate AI. Oh, and this thing in November, Redacted, the hackathon, they're pushing office jobs out there, Everything is working as it should. Is a clown show.
Wakas Khalid said, love Nia from #Pakistan. Well, Wakas, love Pakistan from #Nia and every other country, because blockchain tech and chain signatures are, of course, borderless. We do have some other more actual questions that have came through. Louis on Twitter said, hey guys, possible to know who I can reach out to in BizDev or the foundation? Louis, you can message me on Twitter. It's @David, then 3 underscores, then MO. If you slide into my DMs, platonically, of course, I will absolutely direct you in the right direction. Kendall, Joe, there was a question that came through a few hours ago. Goodness, we've been at it for a while. And they asked, if you were to send a transaction via chain signatures, perhaps on Bitcoin or Ethereum, that gas fee, is it going to reflect the low gas fees of NIA, or is it going to be the gas fees of whatever transaction, whatever blockchain you're leveraging?
Oh, muted, Kendall.
Yeah. That's a great question. Unfortunately, we are, bound by, if you're interacting with Ethereum or Bitcoin, you're bound by the transaction fees on that network. There's really no way around that. That being said, I think what is cool is that especially for a chain like Ethereum, you can actually replace a lot of Ethereum functionality with simple externally owned account EOA address transfers, which are much cheaper than things like swaps on Uniswap. So there's some creative ways you can utilize chain signatures to actually reduce gas fees. But if you're using chain signatures just to interact with Ethereum or Bitcoin, like you will, of course, have to pay the gas fees there. But unfortunately, you won't have to pay much more because NIA gas fees are so cheap.
Amazing. From Machine Mind AI, he said, did NIA improve its token standard? I was dev there in 2021, and it was a mess. Ha ha! Better now?
I mean,
it's
definitely changed.
It's definitely, it says 2021. Yeah, it's way more robust. We have, like thousands of tokens that have now been used, including some very, very large ones like native USDT and USDT issued by, Circle and Tether. So I would say that it's become a lot more robust, a lot more battle tested. There's been a lot of user feedback that's kind of gone into it. That's what I would say. Joe, sorry to cut you off there.
No, yeah, that's a perfect answer.
Amazing. Okay, we have just 3 minutes left until we all have to run. It's 7 p.m. here, and the pubs are going to close in like 4 hours, so I've got to get going somewhere pretty soon. But before we do that, Joe, tell them where people can find out more if they want to start building. If they're the giga brains among us, where do they go? What do they do?
Yeah, let's we can jump into super fast here. So go to docs.near.org. That's a great way to get started here. There is some new tutorials. Documentation is up to date as of today. You can get started with chain signatures and any of the different infrastructure here on Near. But we can go through that, and we'll continue to add more stuff as well over time. There's also a Telegram group. There's actually 2 Telegram groups that I encourage people to jump into. There's the main Near Dev Telegram group that we would highly encourage everyone to jump into, and there it is on the screen. And from there, we can help redirect you into the chain signature group as well. But yeah, it's a great time to build right now, and so please come join us. And anything else, any help you need, there's going to be somebody there, both from the community and from, I guess, representing one of the Near entities as well, to help jump in. So docs.near.org and jump into the Telegram.
Amazing. Joe, thank you so much. You've been an incredible co-host, as have you, Kendall. Is there anything you want to say? Do you want to spread your love to the world and say anything else about the world of chain signatures, Near, Web3, crypto, or perhaps you just want to tell us about how you sleep at night, whatever you like?
Mainly go try out these different products that have all been showcased today. So just to recap, that's Sweat, that's Bitte, that's Allstake, that's Here Wallet, and that's Defuse. They've all shared some really great resources for everybody, so go try them out. And fortunately, many more to come. Keep your eyes peeled the next several weeks and months. There's a steady stream of really amazing things that are going to be launching.
Amazing. Thank you both so much. It's been an incredible live stream. 2 cents from me, 2 sats from me, 2 teragraphs from me, whatever you want to call it, before we leave. Just remember, please, everybody listening, that we are on the same team here, believe it or not. It doesn't matter whether you've got a bag full of Sol or ETH or Near or anything else. Nothing really matters because we're all on the same team, fighting the same fight for an open internet and an open world. So when the day comes, knock on wood, that it never does, that you have a tyrannical government or a government that doesn't quite agree with the way that you think, and they want to control whether or not you can use the money that's in your bank account, well, we will thank God for Bitcoin and crypto right then. And when the day comes, and I think it's already here, when we have tyrannical big tech knocking at our digital doors, ready to stick a straw in our brains and suck the data out milliliter by milliliter so they can run their closed source AI agents to take yet more money from your pocket and from your data, then we will thank our lucky stars that the world of Web3 and crypto has been built then. And we won't give 2 flying fucks whether it's on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or Near, as long as it works. And with chain signatures, it absolutely works, and it works together better than it ever has. And if you want to find out more, and if you want to join the movement and join the fight against big tech and closed AI, then you can join us at Redacted in November 9th to the 11th. It is in Bangkok. If you go to redactedbangkok.ai, you'll find all of the information there. There is a $500,000 hackathon if you are a dev, and you can take home a nice slice of the pie there. But importantly, and most wonderfully for everybody listening, it is completely free. You just have to sign up and get accepted, which I'm sure if you are committed enough to watch this live stream to now, you will do. So hopefully I will see you there at Redacted in November 9th to the 11th for the IRL movement. God bless, goodbye, and thank you all so much for listening.